This is Gaming in the Basement, and I'm RockAGoth. We're in the middle of our interview with Tisagh, but before we get started today, there are mentions of self-harm in this podcast episode, just to give you a heads up for what's ahead. Mental health and wellness are very important, and no matter how bad things seem or how hopeless you feel, reach out to somebody and tell them how you're feeling. Sometimes it's hard to see past what you feel, but talking it out helps. If you have nobody to talk to, call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. Just dial 988. I know it might feel like you want things to end, but you may not feel that way tomorrow. I didn't, and I'm glad I'm still here. Let's continue.
So this is interesting because I was never interested in streaming, watching streams, and COVID happened. And I had some friends who were like, hey, so I used to like record gameplay of myself, the family, and so playing Tekken because we would get together. We were locked inside Montreal City, but play games. So we would play Tekken, and sometimes something funny would happen. So I'd like record that and put it up on a Facebook group of local gamers. And one of them was like, "Hey, you play Tekken? Why don't you come online?" I was like, "Oh, I've never really played online before." He was like, "Yeah, I'll create a lobby." And I hopped in, and he cut my ass. And then he was like, "We should start like making Tekken a regular thing and see how many people we can get." So we started a little group. It was about 5 of us at the start. And he used to stream Street Fighter, but I think he had hardware problems at the time. So Tekken was kind of struggling on his system. So I was like, I have a pretty powerful system. I can stream Tekken. So we started streaming Street Fighter on Mondays and Tekken on Tuesdays. So he would stream on Facebook, and I was like, which platform should I stream on? And I checked it out, and I was like, well, the only platform that I can actually monetize later on would be Twitch. Oh, I failed to mention I'm also an entrepreneur. So I was like, I look at certain things with a business acumen,
Yeah.
and I was like, I can't get paid on YouTube because it's not available in my country, neither on Facebook. I never really looked into Mixer, but I saw like Twitch was compatible. Like I could get paid through PayPal, and I do business outside of the island and get paid through PayPal. So that shouldn't be an issue. And I decided, okay, let's do it on Twitch. So if it does become successful, I can really take it seriously and, treat it like a business. So that's how it started. And eventually people stopped showing up. So there was one night I remember hopping on for our Tekken Tuesday, which used to be a closed lobby. Uh, Nobody showed up in the lobby, but there were some people in chat. And I was like, you know what, guys, I'm going to remake the lobby and just have it like an open lobby. And people started hopping in, and viewers started coming in. So, we started getting like 5 viewers, 6 viewers, 7 viewers every Tuesday, and a full lobby. And I was like, bro, you guys are so amazing, because like even the local people, they were like, with 5 people in the lobby, they had to wait too long for a match. But you had these people who I didn't even know. And then I would start like shamelessly plugging my stream every time somebody joined the lobby, and be like, yeah, twitch.tv/Tisa. And they'd hop into the Twitch channel and be like, hey, what's up? I'm so and so in the lobby and blah, blah, blah. And then we would be talking and engaging. And before I knew it, it was like I had a community, and I was like, oh, next step, let me do a Discord thingy. And that's how the Discord came. And that is how the stream evolved. Went from just being a platform for a couple of friends to being what it is now. And I must say, I have a really awesome community. I feel like I get a lot of support and love, and we support each other. It's just been an amazing journey.
Yeah, I mean, I saw your retrospect on YouTube and it was really touching. Like, I was just like, wow, like you can get a sense of community just from that video.
I appreciate that.
It sounds like you have an amazing community and it's really heartwarming to hear how it grew.
Yeah, it's been a crazy ride. Like going from no cam to cam, because basically what I did is that when I started getting money, like before I would get like donations, and then when I hit affiliate, we got subs and bits and all that stuff. And I just invested everything back into the stream. So camera, lighting, microphone. And it's just been trying to give back to the community because I feel like if you're investing in me, then I should make it worth your while. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a lot of Twitch streamers, like, wanna invest back in their community, and it's really amazing.
Yeah.
Could you describe your streaming style? Could you describe your streaming style?
So my thing is I don't want to stream for the sake of trying to make money. So I don't want to stream what's popular to get viewers to get money. I want to stream what I love because when I'm streaming something that I'm interested in, I feel like the community gets a better vibe from me than if I'm streaming something that I don't like, but it's popular. You know what I mean? So I'm always trying to be genuine on stream rather than trying to create a persona. So what you see is what you get. What you see is me all the time. I might project my voice a little more so that I'm a little more clear. I might not talk in my local twang because people probably won't understand me. Like I remember one time there was a viewer that hopped into chat and he was like, "You said something to your friend on Discord and I didn't understand what you meant." And that was because like we switched from like how I'm talking now, talking like how we would talk if we met each other in the road, like, "Hey, what going on?" Yeah, like that kind of stuff. They just really fast and all the words jumbled together.
Can you tell us a bit about if you have any goals or, like, a vision for your Twitch community and your channel?
Yeah, so the Switch channel, I wanted to be a place where people feel they can come and relax first and foremost, be entertained, share whatever loads that they have. Because one thing I realized just from starting to play online and having friends virtually, I use the term friends loosely because everything kind of considers it like friends, but okay, have people that and interact with and eventually become acquaintances and friends online. There was a situation that we had in a Discord one time where someone was in a really bad place and they decided that they were done with life and they sent a message in the Discord and myself and the Discord owner saw it. And we immediately started messaging each other like, "Hey, did you see what so and so posted?" And they were like, "Yeah." I was like, "Do you have a phone number to reach him in real life and see what's up?" And we basically combed through the phone book for the region where that person lived, and using their name, we like started just cold calling people and be like, "Is this where so and so lives?" And we eventually got onto their parents, and apparently they had taken some pills where their parents were able to get them to get them some medical attention and get their stomach pumped and all of that and freaking saved their life. So I was like, I want my community to be a place where if you're ever feeling down, you can come and be like, "Hey, this happened to me." Because it's important to know that even though you might have real life friends that may not give a shit, if you're in a community, like I always want my community to be genuine and look out for each other because it's something that's lacking in the world. Like everybody in the online space is always like, "Oh, I gotta be toxic, I gotta talk shit, I gotta troll." But I want my community to be a place where it's kind of like a safe haven for everybody. Like we don't have to agree all the time, but if somebody's feeling like shit, we should be able to say, "Hey, if you need an ear or you need eyes to just read what you're typing, you just want to get it off your chest, we're here." Like, can't offer professional help, but sometimes you don't need professional help. You just need somebody that gives a shit to listen or read what you have to say. You know what I mean? Like I had this other member of my community who got robbed at gunpoint and she was so shook. She hopped into the stream and she shared that and I was just like, "Yo, like, if you want me to hop off and could like go in a private Discord channel and just talk. And she was like, no, she's comfortable just typing it out, and she just wanted to share how she was feeling, and that got her from a place of just feeling depressed to a place where she was actually chill just by getting it off her chest. And that's what I want to do for people. Is it's I've lost friends, to self harm, and I've known people who they didn't get the support when they needed it. So I can not that I want to fix everybody or try to help everybody, but I want people to feel like this is a place where they can come if they need to get shit off their chest, basically. Because we talk about all kinds of shit.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. I'm glad you found him in time.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. Like they're cool now. They're in a much better place, and they got the professional help that they needed to sort out whatever issues they were having at the time. And we never pressed it. Like if they wanted to talk about it, they could, but we would just like they came and they were like, "Yo, thank you guys so much for actually calling my parents." And how the hell did you get my number? It's basically just going through the phone book one by one, cold calling people with the last name, because luckily their screen name was their last name, and we knew the county that they lived in. So we just started calling people with that last name in that county based on the phone book records. And I think the third one was the hit. And they were like, yes, we do have a son that goes to, because they told us like which university they went to. And I mean, the internet is such a scary place because that information could have been used nefariously or maliciously. But thankfully, we had that information from him and we were able to do something that was helpful. It was that really touched.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty amazing. And I think you're right. Like sometimes people just need somebody to talk to get stuff off their chest. And glad that you give that kind of support in your community and you all support each other. And when you have a bad day, it's nice to tell other people about it. Might make them feel a little bad for you. It's like we kind of all share in what you're feeling.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah. All right. I don't even know how to follow it up.
I went really deep real fast, right?
Yeah, I did. I wasn't expecting that. But it's touching and I'm really glad you brought that up and you mentioned it because sometimes we need to blow off steam and we don't have a place to and then that can boil over or you need somebody to put something in perspective for you because you're not able to see it.
Yeah. And I think especially too, because I've had a wild ride in life. I started doing dumb shit, got in trouble, actually been to jail, and happened to get my life back on track, and now running my own company and supporting myself and my family. And it's been crazy. So if I can help somebody to learn from my mistakes and not go through the same turmoil, then you can vicariously experience what I have, so that you don't have to experience it for yourself. Like you don't have to burn your hand to know, okay, fire is hot. Burn to be like, okay, no, I don't want to experience that. Thank you very much.
Mhm. What's your current thoughts on the state of video games?
There are thoughts on the state of video games. There are things that I love. Video games are becoming visually much more amazing. Like the graphical fidelity of video games is just every year it almost seems like things are getting better, from textures to character models, even like hair and different things being rendered on screen. It's just amazing. But at the same time, I feel maybe this is something that has always been there, but now that we live in a digital age, it's much more apparent that a lot of developers ride trends. So like, look at, I don't want to shit on Ubisoft because I love Ubisoft. I have almost every game, but Ubisoft got to a point where almost every game felt like Assassin's Creed, or every game felt like Far Cry, because it was basically a formula that they found success with, and they were just like, oh, let's put these aspects or mechanics into every game that we develop because people like it. Let's every open world game, we're going to put quest markers all over the map so people can run around and collect stuff. I feel like a lot of developers follow the trend. Like Soulsborne games became a thing and everybody wants to develop really hard games and, that you can grind through. And instead of being like, okay, where next can we take the industry? What new experiences can we give people instead of, okay, how can we compete with Bloodborne, or how can we compete with Dark Souls, or how can we compete with Far Cry, how we can compete with Assassin's Creed, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, look at what happened with Battle Royales. Fortnite did Battle Royale, and then all of a sudden Battle Royales were popping up everywhere. Like even Call of Duty has a Battle Royale. I never expected to happen.
You're right about, like, trends and stuff. Why do you think they wanna, like, follow trends instead of trying to innovate?
Because it's the safe bet. Like if people like a certain formula, then if you can try to do the same thing and give them a reason why yours might be better than what is already in existence, then you're almost guaranteed to make money. Whereas if you're doing something new, like Death Stranding was completely new kind of concept, and it's a risk that you take because you have a split community now where you have games like Death Stranding, and some people are like, "Oh, that's a walking simulator," and some people are like, "This is a fantastic single player experience." Or some people is like, "This is a fantastic concept of community and building bridges and helping each other out." So you have a major risk anytime you try something new. Like even if you look at Fortnite, the original concept of Fortnite, the versus the world mode thing, that was the main game. And the battle royale thing was like a side thought. And then the side thought became the trend. It's amazing. Like I don't even think they have the regular experience in Fortnite anymore, do they?
It's a totally different game. I played it before it came out. I was at PAX, and I happened to win a copy, and I was playing it, and, like, I didn't continue playing it, like, I wasn't interested in it. But then I had a chance to play it with some friends, and I was just like, "What game is this? It doesn't even look the same. Like, what's going on?" You're
Wow.
right. Totally different.
Yeah. And that's what happens when you try something new. Sometimes you hit it off. But what happens is that when you're constantly innovating, it's it's better for the industry and the consumers.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, so, like, with stuff like Fortnite and Apex and Grand Theft Auto Online, do you prefer games that are just, like, online and they just keep improving them and making changes and stuff like that? Or do you think there's value in, like, just creating a game and just having it that be the finished product?
I don't think it's as simple as one or the other. I love GTA Online. I love Apex, but I also love single player experiences that you can just buy and play out of the box. What I hate about the current state of the industry is releasing a game that's full of bugs and then patching it. Like back in the day, you didn't have a chance to do that. You had to put your game on a disc, and that game had to be solid. Otherwise it would not sell. You know what I mean? Like you had to make sure that all your quality control was done, and what your consumer bought was what they had to work with. So if your game was not finished, everybody knows your game isn't finished. Now you got day one patches, you got sometimes 3 patches within the first week of the game because maybe 5 hours in somebody found a game breaking bug that you now need to patch out. And I think that a lot of maybe the publishers more than the developers, because as a developer, I know I don't put out an unfinished product. I don't think any developer is satisfied putting out an unfinished product. But then if it was up to us developers, games would probably never come out
Yep.
because there's always something that you want to perfect. But I think the publishers put a lot of stress on satisfying the the shareholders, and sometimes the quest for profit and instant financial gratification ruins the experience for the consumer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Also, one of my previous episodes, I was talking with someone about how PC players have become the developers now and they'll finish games. Like, would you like to speak to that a little bit?
So that's one of the beauties of PC gaming is that you have people who will love a franchise or they see the potential and they have the skill set to enhance the experience and they will. And that's why I said, I'm like, if it was up to the developers, games would probably never come out because you're always trying to create the best experience possible, right? So yeah, I think that's a fantastic thing. And gamers, for the most part, they are emotionally connected to the games that they love. You know what I mean? That's why they love the games and they're willing to go the extra mile for the sake of making the game the best experience it can be for everybody.
That's a really beautiful way to put it. They are trying to give the best experience to everybody. I'm going to switch gears a little bit here. You said you used to be in the music industry. Can you tell us about that a
So
bit?
yeah, I used to do hip hop. I forgot I told you that.
Yeah.
I probably should have told you that after the interview, right? But yeah, so in the early to the late 2000s, I did a bit of hip hop first within a group and then later as a solo artist, invested in a couple music studios on the island. Had some friends who were, three main people who used to do music in Grenada and we all sort of went to the same, not sort of, we all went to the same secondary school at the same time. That's like your high school. So when they started producing, they knew who were the poets, who were the people who would like freestyling, in their own head during the day. And they were just like, yo, let's do stuff. Yeah, we put out a couple mixtapes, no official albums. I did promote a collection of songs on, there was a few online platforms that we used to use back in the day and it got pretty good feedback, but it's just not something that I pursued professionally.
So did you used to like engineer the music?
Me personally, no. I used to mess around with some like the beat making program,
Okay.
but I had people who would create the beats. We had people who would mix down and master. If I was doing something at home, like just to see how it sounded, then I used to use Selenium's Cool Edit Pro, which is now Adobe Audition. I think Adobe bought them sometime in maybe late 2000 or early 2010s. So I used to use that to like line up the beat, my vocals, and mix everything down to the point where I can see whether it sounded good or not before going to the studio. But I didn't, that wasn't like my job. I was basically the brains behind the operation and, investing and trying to make money.
Yeah. Did you ever like use any of like your music skill to like on streaming like while to like enhance your Twitch channel?
No, I haven't. So, well, actually, yeah, because like a lot of the snippets that I have, I've edited them myself, but that I don't consider like taking a lot of time or skill to do. It's basically just putting the portion that you want. That's what the way I have it now. Now that you mention it, it's not something I've thought about before, but maybe using some of my old music and clipping parts of it is probably something that I could do.
That would be fun. I'd love to listen to it and see what you did.
Yeah, to make it a little original because only I would have. Actually, you have some videos on Facebook and YouTube, and we have some clips on SoundCloud and Reverb Nation. But yeah, it would basically be original material that, you'd never have to worry about a copyright strike.
Yeah. I mean, I think that would be great. It's a good idea. So I really enjoyed our interview. I only have one last question for you. It's the surprise question. So, do you happen to have a bucket list? And if you do, what are the top three things let me try that again. Do you have a bucket list? And if so, what are the top three items?
I can't say that I have a bucket list. I've reached a stage in my life where I take it one day at a time. I set goals, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. So I'm never disappointed. And I try to enjoy every moment of my life to the fullest. That's basically me.
I mean, that's an awesome philosophy to live by. Like, if you don't even think you need a bucket list, then you never have any regrets if you don't get to check those things off.
I've never thought about it like that, but thank you. Yeah, like before, like there was so much stuff that I wanted to do, and like I said, I hit like a bad patch in life where I wasn't in control of where I could go or what I could do with my time. So now I just appreciate time so much more. I appreciate freedom so much more and life itself. So it's basically carpe diem. You know what I mean? You just have to seize the moment, every moment, and cherish it because you never know when something's gonna go belly up.
As I get older, just time is going by like faster and faster, and it's so weird. It's weird how time is just based on your perception of it.
Exactly.
So, did you want to list out your socials? Where can we find you?
Sure. So I am Tisagh on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Tisagh Gaming as well. But once you search for Tisagh, you can find me.
Did you want to spell out your name?
Yeah, it's a very original name. My parents say that they came together and made it up. And that's the problem when you have parents who are too intellectual. They do weird stuff like that, where it's not even like the first three letters of both names. It's like the fourth letter of one name. It's almost like a cipher, right? So
Yeah.
all the letters in my name come from the first and second names of my both parents.
Oh,
So
wow.
Tisagh.
They felt like getting creative.
Yeah, that's what happens when you have big brains and too much time.
Thank you so much for being willing to sit down with me and talk about your journey. It was really fun to hear.
It was an amazing time, RockAGoth.
It's amazing how much more I've learned about Tisagh since sitting down with him for this interview. We're part of each other's communities and we game together. Get to know Tisagh on his Twitch channel and don't forget to follow. My music was by DJ Kern. She's on SoundCloud. Go check her out. And thank you guys again for all the love and support. And until next time, keep gaming.
Sorry, my cat is like right next to my microphone for some reason. She just feels like she needs to stand here.
Hi, kitty.
Can you move? She's like purring. Gooch. Can I pet you over here? In that case. All right. That's about that.
Problem.
Back in my microphone. Can you not? Can you? That's later. All right. She wants attention. She's not getting it. She's upset.